you are here. You can start if you want and just share your story and what brought you here to this community.
Okay, yeah, I'm Charlotte. I just turned 40 and I got diagnosed when I was 38. When I was 38, I actually thought I would have a baby. So it was a different surprise. In my mind, I was always like, I think I'll have a baby when I'm about 38. And it was almost like instinctively I knew something would arrive at 38. It just wasn't the thing that I thought. And as we know, or as we assume, it's probably been in our bodies for a lot longer than since we were diagnosed. So I didn't have crazy things for years before. I just went numb in 2022, and I went numb quite severely in 2023, which made me go to the emergency room and ask what it was. And probably it was over like a month. I got the MS hug thing where it hurts it just feels like something's closing in on you. And I just couldn't bear it. So it was quite bad. I didn't lose movement to walk. I was extremely dizzy. I kept falling over, but there was no blindness or wasn't able to move, but it was quite severe in my own body. And they told me immediately in the A&E that it was multiple sclerosis. He couldn't tell me with like an MRI and all of that to say he was definitely correct, but he said, I think 99% I know what this is. I think you're having an MS attack. So I quite quickly went into, I guess, a part of me that's always been there, but I didn't know, like a survival mode. I'm quite good at the survival mode in the positive way of it. And read up a lot on Terry Walls and her nutrition diet, changed my diet immediately. And luckily, again, maybe it was written in the stars, I was already training to be a Pilates instructor from 2020. So I got diagnosed in 2023. So I just changed careers. I say that like it was nothing. It was very hard to become a Pilates instructor. And now I teach in a studio in Ibiza, a rehabilitation studio. So we don't really subscribe to the Pilates princess fancy gym clothes type of Pilates, which also is great. We are more for rehabilitation and teaching the classical method of helping people move at whatever level they are. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Pilates and MS. I made some notes. Basically, the reason I'm so passionate about teaching people with MS is because number one, I have deep empathy for everyone. We're all in the same boat, as we could say, and I know not completely, but I can appreciate quite well how people might feel regarding their fears and their movements. And the thing with Pilates is it improves the neuromuscular control. So because it's a set of repetitive movements, you're creating those neuro pathways and neuroplasticity. So for us, we could also eat lots of beetroot and we could also do lots of other things nutritionally, but movement wise, Pilates is actually amazing for our brains. So it's not just to get that great body and all those other things that are promoted in social media. It's actually really important for our neuroplasticity. So I believe it should go hand in hand when people do get diagnosed. I do think it should be something that people in the medical profession could say, look, there's a really great thing you can also do. Just keep doing Pilates because it will keep you safe. It might not reverse everything. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's going to cure you, but I think that it would really be an added benefit for you to put into your routine, which is why I would like to come on here and hopefully teach weekly and create a community of love and care and understanding.
I love that. And thank you so much for doing this. I can't wait for our first class.
Okay, so I'm gonna just position the laptop. You can see okay. Bring it back. It's a little bit cold in Ibiza at the moment. So we're on our mats. Let me come back a little bit more so you can see my feet. Okay, So first of all, I'm going to talk about lateral thoracic breathing. So I want you to put your, first of all, we're hip width apart. We're just going to work through the breathing technique in Pilates because it's slightly different from yoga. So we breathe laterally in Pilates. I'm going to take my jumper off so we can see what I'm talking about. In Pilates, we breathe laterally. So if we put our fingertips on our ribs, and as we inhale, we move our fingertips away, opening our hands, opening our ribs laterally. We exhale, we bring them back. We inhale, and then we exhale, we bring those ribs back again. So we're just creating space in the rib cage, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, really working through that lateral thoracic breathing. Inhaling, exhaling. If anyone does meditation, this is also a lovely way to sit and just put your hands onto your ribs and just feel your breath. Inhale, then exhale. Okay, so now we're going to mobilize our shoulders. So we're going to do 3 shoulder stabilizations, 3 shoulder rolls back. And we're going to have 3 shoulder rolls forward. In Pilates, we work through all the planes of movement. So sagittal, frontal, and transverse. So first of all, we're going to extend our arms. And we're just going to go all the way down onto our thigh, come back and come back down onto the other side. And now we can have both hands by our side and just bring those hands either side down past your thigh as if you're reaching through down to the side of your knee, keeping those feet hip width apart, using your breath, thinking about that lateral thoracic breathing. We're going to now have our hands in front of us. We're just warming up, warming through the body, and we're just going to reach behind us, twisting the body through the obliques, following our eye line on our hands and coming back through to the center. We take another deep breath. We bring our other arm all the way back to the back of our body. Our eye line is following our hand like it's on the horizon, and we come back. We're going to go one more time each side. And return. And come back. So whatever level of movement you have, we can definitely adapt these classes. If we can also do this seated. So there's all different ways in which we can warm you up and get you into the exercises. So I'm now going to ask you to stand on one leg. This could be difficult for some people. If so, we're going to have a different option for others. And we're just going to mobilize our ankles. And bring that foot back down. And we're going to raise the other leg, keeping that foot underneath the ankle and mobilize the other ankle. Amazing. We're now going to go into a small squat. We're going to put hands in prayer and we're just going to squat down 3 times. Perfect. We're now going to put our toe in front of us and we're just going to make a semicircle, front to back, pointed foot, bringing it back round to center, mobilizing those hip joints. And then we come back to center, other toe in front, keeping that toe pointed. If you feel more comfortable with your balance, you can have your hands by your side. 3 times. And back to center. We're now going to mobilize the neck. So I just want you to look to the right, back to center, look to the left, back to center, nod down, back up to the center, nod down again, back up to the center. And now slowly, we're going to have chin to chest, keeping those feet hip distance apart. We're just going to roll down through the spine. So we want the idea, I'm going to come this way, is that we fold the body. So similar to how you would do in yoga. Chin to chest, you come all the way down, folding the body, bringing those vertebrae one by one Then we hold onto our elbows. We take a small swing here, focusing on that breathing. As we're down here, we're just going to say yes with our head. Then we're going to say no. And we're going to roll vertebrae by vertebrae as if we're stacking building blocks through our spine. Come back up to standing. And we are going to begin. How are you feeling? Yeah? Okay, so I'm just going to probably have to adjust this so that you can see my mat. Yeah, okay. So we're going to start with the one leg stretch. So first of all, we're going to bring foot to tabletop and bring it down. We're going to go with layers. Foot to tabletop and we come down. So we want to have that, we're not imprinted, we have a small space underneath our lumbar spine as if I can post an envelope underneath your lumbar spine. Shoulder blades are flat on the mat and we're keeping our arms completely straight, really feeling that power all the way to the end of our fingertips. And now I want you to extend the leg and bring the leg up and slowly bring the leg back down, just to the knee, up and then down. Coming back down. So our legs, when we're at resting pose, we have our knees bent, okay? Feet flat on the floor. So we're going to raise the leg into a tabletop position. In Pilates, tabletop is your leg in a right angle, 90 degrees. We're going to extend the leg so your knees are aligned. And again, we're going to bring that leg forward and down. Up towards you and down. One more time. So let's go through to the other legs. First of all, we start off in tabletop. We extend the leg, knees are aligned. We inhale, we raise the leg, and we bring the leg back down to knees aligned. Let's do this one more time. And we come back. Bring the foot back down onto the floor. We're going to go one more time on the other leg. So inhale. Bring the leg into tabletop. We still have that small space underneath our lumbar spine. We extend the leg, knees are aligned, inhale, and we come back. Bring the leg up, come back down to knees aligned one more time, and we come back. Okay, now we're going to go into a shoulder bridge. So shoulder bridge, we're going to raise up through the glutes, keeping those hands and those arms super strong by your side. We're going to just bring those feet slightly closer to your glutes. Inhale, and you're going to imagine, first of all, that we have a bowl of water in our pelvis. So this bowl of water is centrally sitting in our pelvis. We want that water to not come out of the bowl. However, we're going to work now on the pelvic clock. So we're going to imagine the bowl of water is the face of a clock. And you're going to inhale, you're going to bring that water to number 12. You're going to exhale, you're going to bring that water to number 6. All the while, we don't really want the water to come out of the bowl. So we're just going to rest our pelvis forward and backward, just practicing how we're going to, first of all, lift through the shoulder bridge. So what I want you to do is take an inhale and tip your pelvis. So it's a small tilt, and that water is coming towards the number 12. Slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, you're going to bring your body up from the mat as you're peeling your spine off, just like a bicycle chain. And you're going to keep those glutes engaged. You really want to be squeezing those glutes. You're slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, going to bring that spine back down onto the mat. So your spine is a bicycle chain, just peeling off and peeling down. So we're going to inhale, tilt that pelvis, and we're going to come up vertebrae by vertebrae. Now, as you can see, my body, if there was a mini skier, they could ski down my body. My body's completely in line. Exhale, release that vertebrae back down onto the mat. And let's go 2 more times here. Obviously, if anybody wants to take a rest, just go at your own pace. So we're going to tilt that pelvis. The clock is at number 12. And we're going to roll through the vertebrae, bringing that vertebrae, that spine up aligned, glutes are engaged, and exhale, and you're going to come back down. Okay, let's try that one more time. So we have those feet planted really strong on the mat, hands also, tilt the pelvis, inhale, come all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae, exhale, come down, make sure they're not fanning those ribs out too much, and we're back down onto the mat. How are you feeling? All good? Yeah, you haven't got your microphone on. Okay, so double leg stretch. So I want you to come back down into your start position. You're in a supine. So I want you to have just exactly as we were before. So first of all, first layer, I just want you to have your knees bent, feet quite close to the glutes, and I just want you to raise one arm above your head at a time. This is just the first layer. We're going to raise the other arm and return. One more time and return. And the other arm and return. Now I want you to raise both arms all the way over the head, keeping that space underneath your lumbar spine, and return those arms back down by your side. Let's go again. Raising those arms up over your head and coming back down by your side. Okay, so now I want you to raise one leg. Now we're going to go into imprint, which means the lumbar spine touches the mat. So now our bottom of our spine, which is called the lumbar spine, is imprinted. I want you to have your feet pointed, your toes pointed, and we're going to create a really nice right angle here. Hands are by the side, and we're going to raise those arms above the head, and we come back. So this is legs in tabletop, raising the arms over the head and return. If you can, I want you to raise your neck and come back down again, using your breath. Inhale, we raise the neck, the legs are in tabletop, the arms are extended. Feel that power pushing all the way through to the ends of your fingertips. Raise that head one more time, keeping those legs in tabletop, and release. Keeping the legs in tabletop now, I want you to try to extend one leg and then raising your neck. So we're going to flex through the spine and we come back. So it's just extending the leg. We're not raising the leg. Now we're going to go through to the other leg. Flexing through the spine as we do. So we're raising the head off the mat, extending the right foot, and coming back down into the start position, which in our case is the tabletop. One more time each side. Inhale, extend that leg, and come back down. Inhale, extend that leg, exhale, come back down. So now we could extend both legs. I'm adding layers here, but obviously we're just going to go as far as people can go. I want you to, as you extend your leg, you're going to bring your arms down. And as you put your leg back into tabletop, your arms go over your head. Extend, bring those arms down. Arms are strong. Lifting your head as you go. One more time each side. Hands come down, leg extends, neck raises up, and you come back down. One more time. Extend that leg, bring those arms down. Neck goes back, head goes back down onto the mat. Feet go back down, and let's just take a rest here. So we're going to have our arms out into a cross, and we're just going to go into a supine stretch, which is bringing both your knees on one side of your body, and your head looks towards the other way. So you're stretching through those obliques. In your next inhale, you come back to the other side, floating those legs to the other side, bringing that your head facing the opposite side to your knees. We go one more time each side, so we bring your knees over, back over to the other side, using your breath. Inhale, one more time, bring those knees back over. Okay, so we're going to stay, so in Pilates, we move around the mat, much like the same as yoga, but we try to move around the mat so we have one moment on our back, on our side, on our front, so we're going to stay on our back. So we're still in this position with our legs bent, hands by our side. I want you to bring one leg into tabletop position, bring the next leg into tabletop position, and then we are just going to extend both legs, really squeezing those abs and release. Try to keep, when you have your legs in tabletop, try to keep your knees in line with your hips. So inhale, we extend both legs and we come back. Really feel those abs. Inhale, extend both legs, come back into tabletop position. And we're going to go inhale again. And this time we're going to raise the neck, extending both legs. And we come back. Inhale, one more time. We extend the legs, raising the neck, squeezing the abs, coming back into the tabletop position. Bring those legs back down, feet back down on the mat. And this time I just want you to bring your knees to your chest, hug your knees, and roll side to side as if you're massaging your lumbar spine. Just taking a rest here. Thinking about that lateral thoracic breathing. One by one. Inhaling, exhaling. Okay, so I'm going to go into a side kick now. So if we go to the side of our mat, now we can be here or we can be here, but our legs are slightly bent. A little bit too long for the screen. Okay, I have my reformer just here. I should probably move it over. Okay, so what I want you to do with your knees bent, first of all, we're just going to open and close. Feet together, heels together. We're just opening and closing. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, now I want you to lift your heels apart. So it's just your toes that are touching. And we're just going to do the same again, but it's with your heels apart. So it's slightly more difficult. Inhale, exhale. You can have your hands in front of you for stability. Inhale, exhale. Okay, so now we're going to have our legs straight, and I want you to just raise your leg and lower your leg. Raise your leg and lower your leg. I'm just going to move slightly so I have a little bit more space. Okay, so we raise up and down. Okay, now I just want you to bring your leg back and to the front. So we don't come forward, we just bring the leg back and back to the front. Really extending through your spine, really bringing that foot all the way back as if you have power shooting through your toes and coming back. Now we're going to come forward with the leg. Come forward, shoot that leg in front of you and back to the center. Inhale, bring that leg in front of you back to the center. So the idea this time is that we're going to try and flex that foot. So the foot is flexed as we come forward and we're going to point the toes as we come back. Flex as we come forward and point the toes we come back. Flex the toes we come forward and point the toes we come back. Okay, now we're going to go in the same position. If anyone feels more comfortable here, you can do. We're going to make circles with the foot, with the leg. And so the foot is pointed, the toes are pointed. We're going to do 4 more here. 3, 2, 1. And let's change the direction of the circle for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we're going to come now onto our stomach and we're going to have our Hands out in front of us. Our feet are connected, and we're going to really just focus on making space between our hips and our ribs. So there's that space between our ribs and our hips. And I want you to just extend the spine. So we're looking in front, almost looking to the horizon, feeling that stretch through the spine. And I want you to kick one leg. So we first of all raise the leg. And so we kick our glute. So something to note here is that we just raise our hips slightly off the mat. If our hips are not raised off the mat, we don't really get the same effect. So we just want to raise our hips slightly off the mat, and we're going to pull all the way through, and our foot reaches our glute. So we're keeping that spine stretched. We're looking towards the horizon. We have our hands out in front of us, in line with our shoulders, and then we're going to go through to the other leg and come back down, keeping those hips raised from the mat slightly. So almost as if your elbows are pulling you away, and then we're going to go through to the other leg, come back down. Inhale, come back through to the other glute, come back down. This time we're going to introduce a pulse. So we're going to inhale, we're going to go 1, 2, and come back down. Other leg, 1, 2, and come back down. Let's go one more time each side. Inhale, 2 toe taps and come back down. Lastly, on the other leg, and back down. So let's take a rest, bringing your elbows out to the side, your fingertips meet, and you bring your forehead onto your fingertips, and you just take a rest here. Let's just enjoy this little moment. Take a pause. Inhale, exhale. Now slowly we're going to get up, and we're going to go through to the other side of our mat, where we're going to work the other side of our body. So however you wish to be, here or here, whatever's more comfortable, we're going to use this hand to stabilize us. And first of all, we're just going to raise the leg up and down. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, exhale. 3 more times here. 2 and 1. Amazing. So now we're going to have our leg just going behind us, trying to keep ourselves centered on the mat, so we don't want to come one way or come the other way. Imagining we have 2 panes of glass and we're centered, but we're just bringing that leg behind us. The leg is extended, and that's 2 more here. Now we're going to come forward. We're going to flex that foot to come forward. We're going to point the foot to come back. Inhale, flex the foot to come forward. Come back, just coming back centrally. Inhale, flex the foot to come forward. Exhale, come back one more time. Inhale to come forward and come back. We're now going to make small circles. We're going to do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we change direction of the circle, keeping that leg elevated for 4. Sorry, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. We're finishing as we started, so we're just going to be bending our knees and opening and closing. First of all, we have those feet together, toes and heels, opening those hips, inhaling, exhaling to come back. Inhaling, exhaling to come back. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And now I want you to bring your heels apart, and you're going to open with those heels apart. It's slightly more difficult. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more time here. Inhale, exhale. Okay, so we're going to come back onto our back. And we're just slowly, we're going to use all of our power, and we're going to roll up through the spine. We're going to slowly come back, vertebrae by vertebrae, just as much as you can. We can also bring those hands, they don't have to come up, they can stay on the mat, chin to chest, and we roll through the spine, coming all the way into almost a forward fold. We're going to come back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, chin to chest. One more time, we're going to roll up through the spine and come back so we finish seated. We're now going to turn around and we're going to be seated in a cross-legged position. How are you feeling? Good? Okay. So first of all, we call this arms in Cossack. So I want you to have your arms in line with your shoulders. And we're just going to twist one way to center and twist the other way. So I want you to use your breath, keeping those shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, exhale to center. Inhale, exhale to center, really mobilizing your spine. Inhale, exhale to center. Inhale, exhale to center. Hands by your side. Let's try and open our legs just as much as you can. If this position is in any way uncomfortable, we can go back to a seated. We're going to have our arms extended. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to try and touch our toes. If you are in any way uncomfortable, you can still do the same thing and you can just lean forward. We're going to do it with our hands, our legs extended, and we're going to touch our toes. We come back out, hands all the way to the horizon, back to the center. Inhale, 2 more times each side. Well done. One more time. Back to the center. Inhale. Back to the center. Okay, so we're going to finish rolling like a ball, only if you feel like you can. So we are going to have hands on our toes, and we're just going to slowly roll down and roll back. You might need to gain some momentum for this. It feels really nice through your spine. And as you come back, you can stretch up through the spine. So we roll the spine to start rolling like a ball, and we come back up and we stretch through the spine. Roll that spine into a C curve, bring that body down, come back up and roll back all the way up. And we come back into a seated position. Amazing. Okay, so slowly we are going to put our we're going to be in all fours. We're going to have our hands just underneath our shoulders. Our feet are untucked. And we're going to go into a cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, bring that body into a C curve. Really flex that spine. Exhale, we're going to arch. Inhale, we go back into the cat. Exhale, into the cow. One more time on each. Inhale, bringing that head all the way down, chin to chest, everyone. Exhale, we come back out. Okay. The balance and coordination Pilates is really, really great for people that suffer with multiple sclerosis or people who have multiple sclerosis. Who's to say that we're all suffering? So, knees underneath our hips. And I just want, first of all, just try and lift one leg, extend it away. Come back to center, and the other leg, lift it away, back to center. One more time on each side, lift that leg, back to center. One more time, lift that leg, back to center. So now I want you to extend one arm and extend one leg and just really pull through your body. So you're really extending that leg, the foot is pointed, and your palm is also not to the floor, it's to the side, and you're just really feeling that power through your fingertips. We come back down to center and we change position, extending through the spine. Your head is looking at the floor, so your head is in line with your spine, extending your arm, extending your leg, back down to center. We finish in a child's pose position. Glutes down by your feet, head on the mat. Take one big inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So we slowly from here back onto all fours and we lift up into our pyramid, bringing our heels down. I actually find this really difficult to do. So we come into a pyramid and slowly we walk our hands back to our feet. In this position, we roll up chin to chest, keeping that belly button tucked in. Inhale, that vertebrae builds up like building blocks. Taking a big inhale and exhale as we come back up to standing. And we're just going to start as we finish. We're going to do, you move my camera here. Okay, so we're going to do 3 shoulder rolls. Inhale, back into our back pockets. We're putting those shoulder blades into our back pockets, if we can imagine that. And then we're going to roll 3 times forward. And we're going to have our shoulders up to our ears. Usually in Pilates, we want to keep our shoulders away from our ears. One big inhale and let all the stress from the week go. Let's go again. Inhale, shoulders to the ears. Exhale, drop those shoulders. Large exhale. One more time. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, drop those shoulders. Leave the stress from the week. And thank you very much.